Lisa Pezik here, flying solo, talking to you today on the Lisa Pezik Show about why I quit my network marketing business. And I want to open up that discussion about how do you know if you're in the right network marketing business? How do you know if a network marketing business is even right for you? And then one layer deeper, let's take network marketing out of it. How do you make sound business decisions? How do you know when to walk away from something that's no longer serving you? And how do you know what to say yes to and what to say no to in your business? Because the truth is, the more that you are a go-getter, the more you go at it, the more that you work. Now, I don't mean that as in working like a dog and burning yourself out, but the more goals that you pursue and the more success that you achieve, the more you're going to have opportunities coming your way. And you're going to want to say yes to everything because it's going to be so exciting that this person's going to want you on this stage and this person's going to want you to teach and this person's going to want you to say yes to this and collaborate with this and joint venture with this and promote this and get affiliated with this. And when you don't stop to think about it, you can lead yourself down a road that isn't meant for you, and that can lead to resentment. Or the other piece, I believe, is that as the years go by in your business and you're sticking with it because this business matters to you and you're evolving and changing and failing and winning and the ups and downs that entrepreneurship brings, as you grow every year, sometimes your focus shifts and sometimes things change. And sometimes it's a little shift or a little tilt, or sometimes it's a complete 360. And that's pretty much what happened to me over the course of the 5 years that I've been in business and have been growing my brand and serving a lot of people, and now joining with my husband and completely doing something different than when I started out. I started out as a nurse by degree. I started out loving health and fitness, like live, breathe, die for fitness. I love it. I'm one of those fitness freaks, but I'm pissed off until I get my workout in, and then I'm a lot kinder human to everyone. And you may not know that about me because a lot of times when you see me online or you see me speaking or you hear me on this podcast, I do have incredible energy and positivity and inspiration, but it's because I take care of myself. It's because I love on myself and I move my body and I take me time and I do things so that my cup is full, that I have the energy and the excitement and the passion to help others do the same. And that goes back to that self-care. But what I found was, as I was in nursing school and I was a group fitness instructor, I was a gym rat, and it was my stress release. And then I became, getting more and more certified in the boxed kind of programs, Body Combat, Body Pump, like Zumba is a boxed program many people know. And then I wanted to step out and do my own thing. As I was getting more successful, people were drawn to me. Highest number classes in group fitness, 50, 60 people packing that room, only getting paid my 10, 20 bucks an hour. It was basically covering my gas to go and teach, like not really even making a couple $100 maybe. But I was making the gym a lot of money, because people were signing up, because people were referring and they were loving my classes and they loved my energy and my enthusiasm and my how-to tips and tactics and coaching. All the characteristics that have now come with me into the content and the digital marketing and the websites and the funnels and, all that stuff that I'm helping people course creation with now, those skills never left me. But before, somebody else is profiting on those skills. And that's not to say they're bad people. That's just the way it is when you're not an entrepreneur and you work for somebody else, right? You get your set paycheck, and if the company grows, you usually don't see much of that. So I decided to go out on my own and open up Lisa P's Quick Fitness. So went and got ACE certified in pretty much everything, like youth fitness, senior fitness, family fitness, just all around, like doing aquafit and yoga and pretty much getting like every certification, fitness nutrition certificate, pretty much every certification I could get to be able to serve families nutritionally, physically, mentally, just that whole bit. But when I started, I was trading hours for dollars. And then someone came along and said, hey, as you're teaching these group fitness classes and writing these nutritional plans, you could have another stream of income in the form of a network marketing business. And I was like, that makes complete and total sense to me. Yes, if I can get some passive income and I could recommend some products that I used and fell in love with, amazing. So at the time, it made sense to me to be in a network marketing business in the health and fitness industry. Beachbody was the one that I was in. And what I happened to find, though, was that, number one, as I opened my own fitness business and I was teaching and coaching physically in person, and then I was coaching online with Beachbody, I made my passion a job. And there is absolutely no one to blame. I'm not blaming no one but myself, because I did that. But I really caution you because we see this as entrepreneurs, when people say to you, hey, you are great at making those quilts, or you are amazing with your dog, you should be a dog walker, or you should be a personal trainer because you're a gym rat and you're amazing, or you should, you survived divorce or abuse or something. You got to coach others how to survive and thrive. And just because you're good at it doesn't mean that you should make a job out of it. Because what I found is, again, my own fault. I started to resent that I was taking less and less and less time for my health and fitness, and I was pouring into everybody else. So number one, make sure that if it is a passion of yours and you're gonna make it a job, that A, you are committed and you love it, and B, you're still doing it for you. Like, I used to lie to myself and say, oh, well, when I taught my group fitness classes, I don't have time to fit in my own workout. I'd be too tired. That is my workout. But it wasn't, because I was coaching other people. I was focusing on other people, not on my own fitness. It was wrong of me to say that. So make sure that if you're going to make your passion a job, that it makes sense for you and you're thinking about the long-term effects of that, and you're still making that time for you. The second thing, and one of the, I think, big reasons why I left, is that you got to look at the compensation plan of the network marketing company, because so many compensation plans are different. And I have always been entrepreneurial in my brain. I just never had the courage to do it when I was younger. I was pushed into nursing school by my parents saying, this is what you will do, Lisa Marie Sebulak. That was my maiden name, right? And I didn't have choice in the matter. Well, let me take that back. I did have a choice in the matter, but I was 15, 16, 17 years old and grew up in a very challenging environment where you don't question, you do what you're told. So I didn't know any better back then. Now, I don't do nothing unless I choose it and it's my path. But I needed more. Like, I was coaching people with fitness and supplements, and it was an incredible line of stuff, and there was something for everyone. But for me, I wanted more than the interactions and the challenge groups that we had, and kind of being stuck with the products that we had, because sometimes people need customized things. They really do. And for me, I happen to, because I was a nurse, or am a nurse, and because I had so many certifications and so many different things in fitness, I always got the people that had food sensitivities and injuries and arthritis and heart conditions, and people that sometimes the programs just weren't great for them, or they needed like a more one-on-one support kind of system. And when you look at the compensation plan, I was making maybe 20-30 bucks commission per person that I helped. And you also have to grow a team. And in order to be successful, your team has to move product and serve people. And it's like that greater good working together that really gets you paid. And again, my own fault, but I couldn't seem to recruit people that were serious, because you even see this in your own entrepreneurship. You see the dabblers, and you see the hobbyists, and you see the people that are all in. And the people that are all in are the people that succeed. And it was constantly, well, if you don't find those people and you're not cultivating those people, then you gotta constantly be network marketing. You gotta constantly be networking, and you gotta constantly be bringing new people on your team. And it was like, that's the way you run that well-oiled machine. And when I started building my own products and programs, I came up with my very first online course called Macros, Muscles, and Mindfulness program. And it was an individualized meal plan for people with food sensitivities. And it was individualized fitness for people that had all sorts of ailments and injuries and things going on. And the mindfulness piece, Beachbody has done an incredible job now, with fitting in the story and the mindfulness and taking you on a journey kind of stuff. But in the beginning, there wasn't too much of that. And I found that mindset was huge for people. And a lot of my coaching wasn't just the macro meal plan or the fitness, it was the mindset. And I felt that was a gap. So I created something, as well as a 7-day, I still have it on my website now, a 7-day time management planner. Because even if you tell people it's 20 minutes, do it from home, if you got people pleasers that are saying yes to everything, you got moms being guilted for taking time away from their children or not having dinner on the table at a certain time, like, it's hard. So I was like, I got to start with teaching people about time management and value, again, their worth and valuing themselves before I can recommend any supplement or fitness program or any of that. And what I found was my time management program, I had an online program where if you couldn't come and do classes with me, in person, if you were not near me, you could have an online program. You can take classes, a back-end system on my website, online program, still the same place that I house my current business courses now. And I had the Macros, Muscles, and Mindfulness course, and they just took off. And the recurrent continuity, $49 a month for those classes. I diehards. Macros, Muscles, and Mindfulness went for $400, $500. And time management went for $50 if you did it with the videos I created with it. So I started to bring in $1,000, $2,000, $3,000. And people wanted coaching from me. Like they wanted more of my time. They wanted more one-to-one attention. They wanted a place they could ask questions. And when I was doing that for Beachbody, I was being paid $20 a person to basically coach all the time. And when I started doing it for myself, I was making thousands of dollars. And it got down to a question for me of time allocation, because whatever you fuel, whatever you work, whatever you go all in with grows. And when I started to go all in with my brand, it grew. Instead of always having to regenerate in my network marketing business, always having to try to get more clients, more customers, the masses, because I was being paid so little. I would rather have a handful of solid clients that are paying me more and getting more one-to-one attention than having to hustle for the masses. And again, that's just me. Now, there are people in this business or in that network marketing business that are making millions and are crushing it, but they are working that like it is their ride or die business. And that takes me to number 3, which my mentor, Bo Eason, his book is coming out. You guys have to buy his book. And it's called I'm going to butcher it. There's no plan B for your A game, I believe is the title. There's no plan B for your A game. And that's when he helped me realize that, you know, as I got into my business and as I started creating successful online courses and people were wanting more of my time, and I was loving having masterminds and being called in group coaching programs and being called to that Beachbody was kind of my plan B. It was easy to promote because the beautiful piece of network marketing is that graphics are done for you, videos are done for you. Like, they pour all of their money into the product development and market materials because they don't really need to like sell it, right? That's what you do as a network marketing rep. You push product. And I don't say push in a bad way, but meaning that you get product into the hands of a lot of people. You move product, and the people on your team move product and use product, and everybody gets paid and everybody's happy. But for me, it just became my plan B because I kept getting called to help women find their voice and find themselves. And that was such a beautiful stepping stone that Beachbody was for me, and that health and fitness was for me, is that I helped people uncover who they really are, like the DNA of what drives them and their message, their legacy that they want to leave. And for me, I was like, where can I make the greatest impact? And that was teaming up with my husband, who has almost 20 years in the graphic design, website, funnel, lead generation, strategy land, teaming up with him because the content and the messaging and the desire to use your voice and who you are is what I'm really good at. And it was like a no-brainer for us to team up and have that offering for people because it's that one-stop shop, right? Because a lot of people get stuck in the content, or they get stuck in the tech, or they get stuck in the launch or the lead generation. So it just kind of made sense. And I just went, you know, Beachbody is my plan B, you know, and I got to kill it because I see that so many times, women especially, and men too, but they're broke business owners because they're, especially in that industry, they're personal training on the floor and they're teaching group fitness classes and they're writing nutritional plans and they're working Beachbody and they're hosting workshops and they're teaching a yoga class and they're going to 3 different studios to teach and they're bringing in $50 here and $100 here and $200 here and $300 here and $300 here. And in theory, you're like, oh, well, when it all adds up, I make X amount. But you're kind of dabbling in everything. And then what happens is, number 4, there's conflicting content. And that's what happened with me. When I started to say, hey, I can help you with your courses and your memberships and your funnels and your websites and your messaging and your content and your copy, but I can also help you with your health and fitness too. People were like, well, which one are you? Are you a health and fitness coach? Or are you a business coach? And I'm like, well, I'm both. And for a while, I lied to myself and said I could do both and that it made sense. But then when it came down to all of the content that supports my message, my podcast, my blog, my lives, my YouTube, my speaking, my newsletters, my email campaigns, you know, when it came down to everything, then I was like, well, what do I talk about? Do I talk about business or do I talk about health and fitness? And when I tried to talk about both, what do you think I did to my audience? It confused them because there were people on my list that wanted just business and I was hitting them with health and fitness. And there were people on my list who just wanted health and fitness and now I'm hitting them with business. So it was like conflicting content. And I really wanted and want to be known for the value that I bring in the business space, not the value that I bring in the health and fitness space. And I realized that I wanted health and fitness, that passion back for me again, because it fuels me to be a better strategist. It fuels me to be a better content and digital marketer. And that was the way that I could serve people. And all that it turned into then for me was guilt that I wasn't putting more time to it, guilt that I wasn't following up with every team member and, talking to them about what their goals are and what they're doing. And then, I did this push where I coached weekly with my current team. And I said, here's what you got to do. You got to read the chapter. We framed it around a book. And I said, you got to read the chapters of this book and you got to do the homework. Meaning that you got to network, you got to reach out to people, you got to have conversations, you got to, there were like actionable things that they had to do. And half of them didn't even make it through because I was like, if you don't do it, it's like school. You flunk, you're kicked out. Because if I'm going to give you my time, then you got to dig in and do the work. And it came with a lot of excuses. And they are some of the most giving, beautiful, many of them are friends of mine, just beautiful, giving, loving, gorgeous people. But they're hobbyists. They're dabblers in the entrepreneurial space, and you can't be a dabbler. So it came down to, I'm going to openly say it, I am a control freak. I want to be in control of my money, of my income. And I really should say our, right? Because Eric and I run our business together and have our finances together. So I'll say our instead of mine. But it's like, I want to manage our family's income. I want to manage our time. I want to manage our rate of success equal to the amount of hustle and teamwork and growth that we put in. And I love a team, but I realize that I love it more on contract. Like that's what our agency has now is we've got copywriters, we've got graphic designers, we've got Facebook ads guys, we've got analytic guys, we have Animoto guys and gals. We have a team, we have a videographer too, actually. And it's like we have this team of guys and gals from around the world that we just pay. They do the job, they do the work. And it took us a long time to find these reliable, amazing people. And I have an assistant who is amazing. And she's my fourth one. It took me a while to get a VA. Well, my first VA was quite lovely, but she moved to Japan with her hubby because he's in the military. So I would have kept her around forever. I loved her dearly. But then I went through two more that said they were going to do X, Y, and Z and didn't and charged top dollar for it. So it takes time. It does. It takes time to find the right team. And know that if you're going to get into network marketing or you're in network marketing, A, you got to love the products. You got to love those products like you're going to use them for the rest of your life. And then B, you got to be selective about your team. And you got to know that you always got to be bringing on quality people because of exactly like I said in the beginning, things change. Right? You may think that someone on your team is a lifer and they may go through something in their life and they go, you know what, this isn't for me anymore. And that's okay. So you got to kind of know that you're always going to be hustling. And I do think that is true for entrepreneurship in general. Like you always do got to be hustling. It's just, what does hustle mean to you? It may look different for everyone, but I just really I like to be in control. And I don't like the word boss, but I like to keep a pulse on what's happening. I think that you need to be looking at your analytics and, providers and deliverables and all of that. And I didn't want to have to drag people along. And once I realized it was dragging people along, I just got tired of renewing, of trying to just constantly get more people on board. It was just a hustle that I didn't want to do when moving into the business with my husband felt great and I loved it. And it gets me out of bed in the morning. And, it was one of those things where it was just a smarter hustle for me. And I worried that a lot of fear came up for me when it came time to walk away. And I worried that I was going to be letting people down. And I worried that I was going to lose friendships. And I worried that people that put their butt out on the line for me were going to become resentful. And none of that happened. And if it did, and it just wasn't brought to my attention, that's none of my business, right? And when I spoke to everyone, you know, my team, and I just explained where my heart was at. I explained where my head was at. I explained where I was being called to make the biggest difference. And, you know, when you start to get connected to, I'm going to get a little woo on you, but it's like when you start to get connected to the universe and to Mother Earth and Mother Ocean and other people, you start to ask yourself, like, why am I here? What is my purpose? And when you start to uncover deep shit in your life that you've overcome, trauma and abuse and pain and failure, you start to go, well, shit, I survived that. Now, why am I here? If I survived it, why am I here? And what am I being called to do? And those were the kinds of questions that I started to ask myself. And even vision planning and vision board planning, goal setting, Beachbody just was never, it just was not happening to make its way into my 1 year and 3 year and 5 year and 10-year plans. And I just kind of told my team that, you know, it's just not, I got to step away. I got to do it for my health, my family's health, my financial health, my mindset, purpose, my legacy. I love you. I'm not going to leave you high and dry. You know, they are supported on an amazing team, an amazing mentor. And they all said, okay, right? And that's all you can ask of people, is that you tell them where you're at and they can accept it or they can't. But I was so worried that people are going to be mad at me. And none of that happened. I was afraid it was going to be a big falling out and an ugly goodbye. And it wasn't. It was, I get it. You're doing your thing and I champion you. And I said the same to them. And it's beautiful when you can throw out that worry and that guilt and all these things that you think are going to happen. When you're doing what you need to do, it doesn't matter. Your life matters. Your happiness matters. So for me, that's kind of how, you know, I left on good terms, and I still use their workouts. I love their workouts. I unfortunately developed just a sensitivity to pea protein, which is a very popular vegan alternative. And, you know, my naturopath just said, you can't have that anymore because it just puts you off the Richter charts. And unfortunately, pea protein is in everything that they have. And, you know, I got to a point where I couldn't use the products anymore. And that was a real kind of downer for me. So again, you got to make sure you can use the products. You love the products. You can use them long-term. You're up for the hustle. You're up for growing the team. You're selective about who you put on that team. You're selective about the time that you put into that business, and you work that sucker like it's your ride or die, because anything that you work like your ride or die is going to grow. And, you know, that was why I left, because I felt like my ride or die was a bigger purpose, and health and fitness is for me now. It keeps me sane. So, you know, if you're rocking in your network marketing business, I freaking champion you, because I do believe it's a smart revenue system. I do believe that eventually we all are going to be buying from friends and family. Like, customer service is going out the wayside. And I do believe that that is the way of the future, that we're not going to these big box stores anymore. We're going to our friends and our family. So I champion network marketing. I love network marketing. I just don't love it right now for me. And that's what you got to decide for you. So hopefully that served. And, you know, if you need these kinds of strategy conversations, that's where my husband and I, Eric, we do strategy calls. And a lot of times it is about, you know, is this a passion? Is this a job? What is your brand? What does your brand stand for? How many plan Bs you got? Is your content conflicting? Do you have a team? Do you need to get a team? Are you hustling? Are you smart hustling or stress hustling? And we look at all of that. So You can contact me at lisa@lisapezik.com, or you can head to the website, www.lisapezik.com, and happy to get in on some strategy calls with you and map out all of this. Because if you don't have the foundational stuff, who you are, who you really are, how you're called to serve, what outcome you get for people, what lights you up, it's okay to go, you know what? I don't know. And I went through that for a long time. And it was having mentors that helped me figure it out. Time and mentors helped me figure it out. And I want to give that same gift to you. Eric and I both do. So make sure you contact us if that serves. And as always, I appreciate you. I love you. I value you. Thank you for tuning into the Lisa Pezik Show. And I'll see you again next time.